100 years ago, thousands of young Australians landed on a beach in Turkey at a place now called Anzac Cove. For many of these young men, that day meant an injury they carried for the rest of their life. For others, it was the end of their life. The youngest to die at Gallipoli was a 14-year-old boy from Hawthorn. He faked his age to go to war. He was just a kid, and just a kid from Glenferrie Primary School who could have been a scout. For scouting, this was a terrible war. It was a terrible war for everyone, of course. The Second World War was even worse. Lord Baden-Powell, the guy who started scouting, was absolutely devastated. So many of his scouts died in the First World War, even some from his very first camp at Brownsea Island. Baden-Powell was a soldier, a hero of the Boer War, but World War I changed everything for him, and it changed scouting. Baden-Powell was shattered at the death of so many of the first scouts. He was angry with a war that had killed more than 16 million people. Baden-Powell decided that the future of the world was in the hands of young people. He decided to link up the kids of the world so they became friends and hopefully would create a better and more peaceful world. By 1920, there were millions of scouts all over the world. So Baden-Powell brought thousands together at a giant camp he called a jamboree, the world's first jamboree. So 13 years after a famous soldier started scouting, he turned it around into an international organisation for world peace. The first jamboree was in 1920, it was in London. The 23rd World Jamboree is in July in Japan. And in between there are jamborees all around the world, like the 24th Australian Jamboree that's in New South Wales in January. Despite all the bad stuff happening in Europe, in the 1930s Baden-Powell remained optimistic about world peace. By the time World War II broke out, he'd moved to Kenya, a country that he loved very much. In 1941, as the war worsened, he died in the shadow of Mount Kilimanjaro. I think we all owe it to him to do our best to make our world a more peaceful place, to do everything we can to prevent future conflict, at every level, at home, at school, across Australia and across the planet. This month we're commemorating the 100th anniversary of Anzac Day and the courage of so many young Australians. Let's also celebrate scouting as an international movement for world peace and understanding. That's all from me this month. Have yourselves a great month scouting, and of course, lest we forget. I'll see you soon.